It was Goody YTBC. Was good, fight fans, boxing heads around the world. B March with another boxing video. So I'm back at it one more time, back at it again with another one of my series. This is Fights We Didn't Get to See. I'm about to take you guys back to 2008. 2008, I believe, May. 2008, May 31st. We were supposed to get a showdown between Zab Judah, Zab Super Judah versus Sugar Shane Mosley. You know? And this fight was supposed to be a fight happening, I think, in the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas, you know what I mean? Now, this fight didn't get to happen. We didn't get to see it as fight fans. It's a damn shame because this probably would have been one of the better fights, or it would be a fight I believe we'd be still talking about till today, you know what I mean? Sort of something similar to Zab Judah versus Miguel Cotto, Zab versus Floyd, Zab versus Costa Azul, Zab versus Corey Spinks. We still talk about all these fights that Zab Judah participated in. Zab Judah versus Amir Khan, you know what I'm saying? And vice versa for Shane Mosley, you know what I mean? Shane Mosley, we still talk about his big wins over De La Hoya, although some were controversial. We talk about his wins against Margarito. Talk about his fight against Shane Mosley, how he hurt Shane Mosley. So these two guys are guys, in my opinion, will be going to the Hall of Fame in Canastota, New York, the International Boxing Hall of Fame. And you know, these two guys, in my opinion, you know, they were superstars, yes. Pay-per-view stars, yes. But of course, they didn't reach the highest plateau like Mayweather and Pacquiao did, the best fighters of their generation. And you can include Mosley, Cotto, Zab Judah, all these guys in that generation of Mosley and of Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? So you know, this, like I said, this fight we would still be talking about it till today. I can guarantee you that. You know what I mean? However it went down, whether it was a close decision, wide decision, we would be still talking about this fight between Sugar Shane Mosley and Zab Judah. You know what I mean? Now, the reason this fight ain't happened is because Zab Judah pulled out with the injury. Apparently, he broke his hand or he had cut his hand or something. I think he had said he was in the shower or something, and his forearm needed like 40 stitches. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason the fight didn't happen. Um, and these guys, they just moved on with their career. They ain't wait for each other, although they were supposed to have the fight the next year over in 2009. But we'll get into that a little later, you know? We'll talk about why this first fight didn't happen in May of 2008. You know, Zab Judah, of course, is how many division? He's a two different division champ, and he's one IBF, WBO, three welterweight titles, that's five, and one IBF strap, Kaiser Mabuze. So Zab Judah is a six-time world champ, you know what I mean? You check it, the man Zab Judah is a six-time world champ. He was coming off some, you know, when this fight was supposed to happen with Shane Mosley, he had taken a couple losses, you know what I'm saying? Zab Judah had taken some losses to Miguel Cotto. He gave Cotto a hell of a fight. You know, the man Zab Judah was getting hit in the Bozak. Got hit in the Bozak a couple times, two or three times, you know what I mean? But it was a real competitive fight. Just like Shane Mosley and Miguel Cotto, those are real competitive fights, you know what I mean? But you know, at this juncture of his career, it looked like the man Zab Judah was on the decline, you know what I'm saying? Zab Judah was, like I said, he had lost to guys like Miguel Cotto in the 11th round, you know what I mean? 11th round stoppage. He lost to Carlos Baldomir, a fight he should have never lost. And he lost to Floyd Mayweather, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, before he was supposed to fight Mosley, he had lost three big fights, you know what I mean? You check it, so that's what happened with the man Zab Judah, you know what I mean? Zab Judah had lost a few fights, and this fight between Zab Judah and Mosley was actually coming off of a loss to Miguel Cotto as well, you know what I mean? before the fight was supposed to happen in 2008. You know what I'm saying? Now, both these two guys, in my opinion, at that juncture of their career were on the crossroads path of their career. Both of them needed the big win for, in order to keep it moving in their career. You know what I'm saying? And Shane Mosley, you know, um, Shane Mosley was waiting for the man. You know what I'm saying? The fight we didn't get to see it, but I think it would have been a great fight. You know what I mean? And there isn't too much background story of this fight. Like maybe other videos I've done on fights we didn't get to see. Like, for example, Sugar Ray Leonard versus what's the guy's name? Donald Curry. You know what I mean? There was a whole story I could get into on that. You know what I mean? Litigation, friendship, advice from Sugar Ray Leonard to Donald Curry not to go ahead and fight Hagler. There was a lot of variables that didn't make the fight happen, as opposed to this fight with Zab Judah and Mosley. It was an injury. You know what I'm saying? Okay, now as far as who would I think would win, Styles keys to victory. Zab Judah, you know what I'm saying, was a quick guy. You know what I'm saying, quick hand speed. Therefore the guy was a talent. You know what I'm saying, the guy could box with any boxer in his era, at least for a good 7 rounds, maybe even less. You know what I mean? For whatever reason, Zab Judah in his big fights would tend to fade out, tend to have a low punch output in the second half of a fight. He would tend to not let his hands go, basically. I don't know what kind of psyche he would have going. This is a fight with him and Mickey Ward at 140. Okay, that man Mickey Ward some work, you know what I mean? Now, Zab Judah, I don't know what was up with his psyche, why he would always start off like a firecracker, always would start off hot, you know what I'm saying, but tend to fade in the second half of the fight, you know what I mean? A guy like Shane Mosley was a guy who started from lightweight, you know what I mean? Had a great career at lightweight, but to be honest, I'm not comparing Shane Mosley to Aaron Pryor. No, I'm not. But in my opinion, guys like Mosley and Aaron Pryor, they fought a lot of B and C competition, B and C level fighters. You know what I'm saying? They didn't fight the elite fighters up until maybe, I give Aaron Pryor fought Antonio Cervantes. That's an elite fighter, Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? You know, and then you got to fight Alexis Arguello. A lot of guys didn't want to fight the man Aaron Pryor. That's why he ain't get the big fights. He ain't never get to fight Duran. Duran ain't won no parts of him. And he ain't get to fight Sugar Ray Leonard. You know what I mean? Those were two big names that if Aaron Pryor got on his resume, win or lose, it would have definitely strengthened his resume. You know what I mean? And the man Zab Judah, Sugar Shane Mosley, he fought a lot of obscure opponents, you know what I'm saying? His best guy he ever beat at lightweight was Philip Holiday, you know what I'm saying? You check it out. I wouldn't exactly call Philip Holiday a world beater, you know what I mean? You check it, but I think Shane Mosley versus Zab Judah was at the right time, 2008, man. I think it was, at that particular time, it was a 50-50 fight, you know what I mean? Zab Judah, like I said, he had taken a few losses before he would get this fight with Mosley. And Shane Mosley, he had beat a couple guys, you know what I mean? He had a couple fights, fought guys like Fernando Vargas twice. He beat Fernando Vargas, you know what I'm saying? And he beat Louis Collazo, you know what I mean? So, those were some good wins to get him back on the path of a big fight, you know what I'm saying? You check it. So, Shane Mosley, in my opinion, his style, when he was in the lower weights, man, he was a boxer puncher, in my opinion, you know what I mean? Definitely getting fellas up out of there. Probably had over 30 wins, like 29 KOs. Yeah, he had like 30 wins, 29 KOs. He was knocking out basically everything in front of him, you know what I mean? You check it. But when he moved up in weight, man, he became more of a slugger, The man that the man's Shane Mosley. The man was a good puncher. He could knock you out with either hand. That's what one of his best attributes. He was a guy who could close the distance, whether from whether he was on the outside of a fighter or on the inside. He was a guy who could close distance and could hit you from any range. You know what I'm saying? Look at these punches he giving Mayorga. You know what I'm saying? From any range he could catch you. This when he got rid of Mayorga. I believe that was in the 12th round. Mayorga stood up and he got caught with one punch. Boom. Got put on his ass. So as far as punching power, I'd give the edge to Shane Mosley. You see what he did to Floyd, you know what I mean? We haven't seen Floyd on Queer Street like that ever. You check it. Look at this. Look at them legs, boy. That shit, I'll never forget this moment right there. I ain't gonna lie, I was standing on my feet when that shit happened, you know what I mean? But I was sitting on my couch from round 3 to round 12, man, because Floyd, man, he adjusted and he took care of Mosley, you know what I mean? But this right here, Shane Mosley versus Margarito, was Shane's biggest win. And like I said, the power attribute, I'd give that edge to Shane Mosley. Hand speed, Shane had quick hand speed in his time, lightweight. As he moved up, he was a guy who was basically a fighter. He tried to time people, you know what I'm saying? And he had great timing. That's one thing we have to give Shane Mosley. He had great timing of when to let them hands go in between punches, you know what I mean? But Shane Mosley also had a habit of kind of closing his eyes when he punches. That's one thing I always noticed about him. So to me, that only meant that the pressure was always getting to a point where Shane Mosley would have to close his eyes in desperation to try and get fellas up out of there. And he believed in his power, you know what I mean? A guy like Zab Judah had quicker feet, definitely had the quicker hand speed than Zab Judah, than Shane Mosley, you know what I mean? His timing wasn't quite impeccable like Shane Mosley, but he definitely could let them hands go in different angles. And Shane, it would just come to a point where if the man Zab Judah would want to stand in front of Shane Mosley and try to slug it out, you know what I mean? Because that was basically how the man Shane Mosley started, fighting when he moved up in weight, you know what I'm saying? When he fought a guy, when he was younger, in my opinion, in the lightweight division, Shane Mosley had a vicious jab, you know what I mean? He controlled opponents' ring generalship with the jab, and that was one of his best attributes. But when he got older and moving up in weight, the jabs they weren't stiff jabs like when he was in the lightweight. You know what I mean? The man Shane Mosley would have more of a pawing jab. You know what I'm saying? Something basically just flickering a jab out there to to let them hands go, to set up a shot, you know what I'm saying? Which is all well and fine. It's boxing. You got to use your jab. But it wasn't an authoritative jab like his jab in the lightweight divisions, you know what I mean? So, man, this fight, like I said, it was a 50-50 fight in my opinion at the time it was supposed to happen. But Zab Judah, in my opinion, man, if Zab Judah had to win this fight, it would be a tough task, man, because he was naturally a smaller 147. 147 was not his best suited for him, you know what I mean? He couldn't beat Cotto, which was a close fight. You know what I'm saying? He was coming on strong in that fight, you know what I'm saying? He beat Corey Spinks, yes, in the rematch. He got Corey Spinks, man, and took them titles away from him in St. Louis, you know what I mean? That was a big win. Corey Spinks was a good fighter, but he wasn't Floyd Mayweather, who had a WBC belt, Judah lost to. Judah lost to the WBA champ, Miguel Cotto. You know what I'm saying? So there were some fighters that, the elite of the elite, Zab Judah couldn't beat. And it showed, man. Every time he got into the later rounds, man, he just sort of capitulated, you know what I mean? And, he did have the age advantage. At that time, '08, I believe Judah was about 30 years old, while Shane Mosley was pushing on 37, you know what I mean? So about a 6-7 year age advantage goes to the man, what's his name? Zab Judah, you know what I'm saying? But Zab Judah, in my opinion, he lost to guys more times than many who were bigger than him. You know what I mean? When he lost to Floyd, I could probably say that's about even. You check it. Costa Azul, probably could say it was about even. But guys like Baldomir, these guys were, guys who were bigger than him. Even fellas like Joshua Clottey, you know what I'm saying? These guys would just had the size advantage on Zab Judah, you know what I mean? And Zab Judah, man, I just think if he tried to go into deep waters, man, it's a tough fight to call, man. But I think I'd have to pick Shane Mosley. You know what I mean? I think Shane Mosley at that time, after the fight didn't happen, Shane Mosley went on to fight guys like um, Ricardo Mayorga and Margarito, and he beat both of these guys convincingly. You know what I mean? In convincing fashion. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to Zab Judah, who his next fight after he fought my after this fight didn't go down, he went up to fight guys like Joshua Clottey, you know what I mean? And Joshua Clottey handled his business and he beat him, you know what I mean? The Grandmaster Joshua Clottey, he handled his business. So these type of things where Zab Judah, man, he just had mental breakdowns in the ring, and the big fights, in my opinion, is he just couldn't seem to win them. It started with the unification fight with Costa Azul, fights with Floyd Mayweather, losing to Baldomir, and a fight that would have propelled him to a major fight with Mayweather as the undisputed welterweight champ. I think it'll be a tough for him, man, to try to win that fight, you know what I mean? I don't think he would have won that fight against Shane Mosley, you know what I'm saying? Because Shane Mosley came off his biggest wins of his career after this fight didn't go down with Zab Judah, you know what I mean? Beating Margarito for the WBA and the lineal title. Those were massive wins, you know what I'm saying? Probably, in my opinion, the biggest wins in the man Shane Mosley's career, you know what I mean? And he stopped Margarito, you know what I mean? That was vicious. He knocked out Mayorga in the 12th round, you know what I mean? He lost a close fight in some, against Miguel Cotto. I think they called, the judges had a unanimous decision. That fight right there, I think I had Mosley losing probably by like 1 point, you know what I mean? You check it, I thought it was a close fight, you know what I'm saying? Very close fight. Some people arguably had Shane Mosley winning that fight, you know what I mean? Them fights with Fernando Vargas, unanimous decision versus Luis Collazo. Those were big wins, man. And the man Zab Judah, he seemed to lose all his big wins. And Zab Judah, I think his hand speed would he'd have the hand speed he'd probably win the first 5 rounds, you know what I mean? But I think he'd start to fade out, and Shane Mosley was the harder puncher. And man, Shane Mosley could punch like shit. Let's not take nothing away from Shane Mosley's punching power, you know what I mean? Not gonna say it translated all the way from lightweight, but for a guy who moved up all the way to 154 from lightweight, he knocked some fellas out up there at lightweight. You know, I'm super middleweight. You know what I mean? You check it, not super middleweight, excuse me, at light middleweight, 154. You know what I'm saying? So I'd probably give the edge to Zab Judah to lose this fight, and Shane Mosley would win this fight, in my opinion, probably a close fight, probably 7 rounds to 5. You know what I mean? Split decision victory for the man Shane Mosley. Let me know what you guys would think would happen in this fight between Shane Mosley and Zab Judah. I be Marsh Boxing, and no title was on the line. Basically, this was a Crossroads fight and would propel these guys to title fights. Let me know in the comment section who you think would win. This is B Marsh Boxing. Thanks for listening. I'm out.